Hi, Rob Chassner here, and I wanted to share an important fact about the Bible, and that has to do with the calendar. We all live according to the Gregorian calendar. We are in the year 2015 currently during this recording, and however, on the Hebrew calendar, on God's calendar, we're in the year 5778. And we know a day is 1,000 years, so we're in the sixth day of the Lord. However, the important issue here is that when you're reading Bible scriptures, there are many things that are referenced that have to do with the day and the month on the Hebrew calendar. So if you don't understand the Hebrew calendar, then you're not going to fully understand God's scriptures. For example, one of my favorite examples in Nehemiah chapter 8, verse 2, it talks about being the first day of the seventh month. Now, I was in a very big Baptist church in Georgia. They were preaching a sermon, and one of the verses that was covered was Nehemiah chapter 8, verse 2, and it was talking about there were multitudes of people at the square in Jerusalem from many, many nations, all speaking different languages, yet they all understood each other's tongues. The reason for it is that on the first day of the seventh month, the first day, is the feast of Yom Teruah, the feast of the Jewish New Year, the blasting of the ram's horn. There are many significant things about that feast and blasting the ram's horn, which will be covered in a different video. But it has to do with the announcing not only of the Jewish New Year, but the announcing of a king. What do they do when a king comes? They blast the trumpets. What do they do when the groom of the bride comes to pick up or collect his bride? He comes with an entourage and they blast the ram's horn. But that's not the point of this video. This video is to discuss the importance of knowing God's calendar, the Hebrew calendar, so that you can understand Scripture. So in that case, in Nehemiah chapter 8, verse 2, the pastor was saying something to the fact that he didn't understand why they could understand one another and what was going on, but it was the first day of the seventh month according to the Scripture. And so if you were to reference one of the Hebrew Tanakhs, the Old Testament, you'll see very clearly that it references it, that being the feast of Yom Teruah, the feast of the Jewish New Year. There are other scriptures that talk about being the first month and the 14th day. That's Passover. So there's a lot of reasons why you'd want to know. There are too many reasons, too many scriptures to announce in a short and brief video. But here's the important issue. If you're going to study the Bible and understand it, have some understanding and revelation, it would be important to download on your computer or just to go support one of the ministries and buy a Hebrew calendar so that you can, when it references it was the first day of the seventh month, then you'll understand that it was Rosh Hashanah. Or if it references the 14th day of the first month, you'll know it was the Feast of Passover, where they're talking about the sacrifice, the sacrificial lamb. So that's my message on this video, is that the Gregorian calendar is how we live our lives in this brief time that we live on earth, in these body suits, these earth suits that God has given us to survive in this atmosphere. But in order to have an eternal perspective of the Bible and Scriptures, it would be important for you to see and understand what days and what months that are referenced in God's terms in the Bible, and what times of the year those references are, so that you can better understand what is going on with the Scriptures and how to decipher and understand the message that God is giving us. So there you have it. I hope this was informative and helpful, and thank you for viewing.